Hello and welcome back. In this episode, we'll be making some kind of hypersleep chamber, or stasis tube, cryopod, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, the kind of thing where people are put to sleep for a long journey through space. And as usual, you can find a link to the PDF file in the description. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing we'll need to do is cut out the main texture. And we'll also leave a slight border around all of the edges. Then we'll take an empty toilet roll tube and pull that apart, just so that we can glue the texture onto a flat section of the tube. So here I am applying some glue to the back of the texture, and then sticking it in place, and we should end up with this kind of thing, which, as you can see, it takes advantage of the natural curve of the tube. Okay then, next we'll cut out two of the end pieces, and we'll be gluing those to some thin, single corrugated cardboard. So I'll just use the glue stick again, and there's the first one, and the second, and there you go. Next we'll take one of the computer screens, that's one of these things here, and a piece of thick cardboard, and simply glue the screen to the cardboard. And there we go, something like that. And for the last piece, we'll need to cut out a roughly half-inch section of the stripy pattern, which we'll be wrapping around a small drinking straw. And here I am doing just that. So something like this. Oh, and we will need to make a base for the piece, so we'll cut out a piece of the base texture that's 3 inches by 2 inches. And for the base itself, we'll use some thin corrugated card again, and we'll make this 2 inches by 1 inch. Then we'll simply wrap the texture around the cardboard. And there you go. That's that done. Now you will need to give all of these pieces a few minutes to dry, but to speed up the process for the video, I've made a few more pieces ahead of time. So here's the main part that I've trimmed to size with a sharp knife. And we'll also need to exaggerate the curve a little, so here I am bending it around a pen. So this is the kind of thing we're aiming for. Okay, next here's the two end pieces, which have just been cut out with a sharp pair of scissors, and I've also done the same thing with the computer panel as well. Then for the stripy pattern glued to the straw, I've cut out a piece that's 3 stripes wide, if that makes sense. Oh, and here's the base as well. So now we can finally start on the assembly. And the first thing we'll need to do is apply a tiny spot of hot glue to the middle of one of the curved edges, and use that to get one of the end pieces tacked into place. Then, once we're happy with its alignment, we can add a line of hot glue to one of the sides, and glue that down. And then we can do the exact same thing for the other side. So there we go, something like that. Then we'll just repeat the process for the other end, and to speed things up again, here's one I've made earlier. Okay, next we're going to add quite a lot of hot glue to the inside edges of this piece, and then place that in the centre of the base. And the idea here is to let gravity play its part and have the glue drip down the inside edges and bond with the base itself. And if it all goes to plan, it should look something like this. Next, we'll apply a tiny spot of hot glue to the reverse side of the computer panel, and I've used way too much glue there, so let's try again. Okay, next we'll apply a tiny spot of hot glue to the reverse side of the computer panel, and that's much better this time, and then we'll glue one end of the drinking straw in the centre. And there we go, this kind of thing. Then all we'll need to do next is apply another spot of hot glue to the other end of the straw, like so, and glue that on top of one of the circular sockets that appear on either side of the capsule. And there you go, there's the finished piece. So all that's left to do now is to make a few more of these, to accommodate the rest of the crew perhaps, and yeah, you should be good to go. Anyway, I do hope that you're able to find a use for some of these, and if you are running or preparing to run a sci-fi game at the moment, then I'd be interested to hear what system you're using. But that's it for this episode, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.